shots fired at a high school, hostages strapped to explosives. It's a nightmare scenario for law enforcement. How do they respond? Tonight, you're going to see police stage an extraordinary active shooter drill, and it all plays out on camera. Here's ABC's Clayton Sandell.
Inside this Colorado high school, we are on the front line of one of the most dynamic active shooter drills in the country. The goal, make it as real and stressful as possible. Gory makeup on victims, fire alarms, heavy smoke, deputies rushing in amid screams and confusion. Their mission, to subdue the shooter as quickly as possible.
They're going to have to prioritize. One, what's the priority of life? One is to stop the threat. Second is to start saving lives.
Walking wounded. People...
Sergeant Jeff Engel is coordinating today's exercise for the Douglas County Sheriff's Department here in suburban Denver.
There's got to be that immediacy, that aggressive action, that you need to go in and stop the threat.
With 248 mass shootings this year and counting, his department and those around the country are using real-life tragedies as a way to prepare.
And you incorporated some of Orlando into what you were doing today, right? Tell me what it was you did.
Having a situation where we had a whole bunch of folks that were surrounded by a device. And how are we going to move people from a place of danger to a place of security?
Moving! And this school, mere miles from Columbine High.
Burrito, move again!
In a region that's seen more than its share of mass shooting tragedy.
There's been a day of horror in Littleton, Colorado, just south of Denver.
A terrifying moment in Colorado late Tuesday. A horrific scene east of Denver where a night at the movies has turned into a nightmare.
Colorado it's kind of the epicenter of these immediate action events and then these active killer events.
When Columbine was attacked in 1999, it had long been the policy for officers to wait outside for the SWAT team to arrive. But that 45-minute delay before officers went in was later criticized for allowing the gunmen to continue their killing spree. Precious moments lost that might have saved lives.
I was one of the first medics at Columbine. We did have to stand outside, unfortunately, and wait for the building to be cleared before we could go in and find any survivors.
Explosion at office complex.
Today, training calls for even the most junior cops to immediately take the fight to the bad guy and take him out.
Day one officers, when they come out of the law enforcement academy, would like to have them to have that ability to go in as a single unit or as a two-person unit to go in and take care of a threat, because that is the reality.
If you cover me, I'll cuff him. This is what I signed up for. I'm going to be scared, I know that, but it's all about how you kind of control your emotions and you kind of funnel that into something that's effective.
Deputy Kristen Tinsley knows the heartache all too well.
Moving!
She went to Columbine High School.
We have a lot of very local things that we can go to for experience to train from. It's happened, just miles away.
Today's drill, more than 60 officers and 50 students acting as victims. For Jeremy Finkenbinder, training these teams hits home.
When something like Newtown, San Bernardino, Orlando happens, do those things keep you up at night?
I think about them quite a bit. I really do. This is my passion.
What's the goal now?
The goal now is to be able to render medical aid quickly to save more lives. That's really what it boils down to. Tip of the spear, my first priority is to get the bad guy terminated. He's out of the equation.
Be aware of your cover and what you guys are moving to. If your partner gets hit, what do you do?
The first scenario of the day begins.
Reports of 2 shooters wearing tan pants and black shirts.
It's like a nervous excitement. It's the anticipation of, it's like the fear of the unknown. You want to do really well for your teammates and for the people that you're trying to help out.
Tinsley and her team get ready to rush in. The officers navigate through pandemonium.
This is what you call a contact team. 3 or 4 officers all working together, moving right to the threat as fast as they can.
They quickly overtake the gunman. But the teams find even simulated chaos comes with real problems, even real wounds.
The bad guy obviously got one off, and I took him around as soon as I even came on point.
Plus, all that noise drowns out police radios. There's confusion.
Is that it? 3 inside?
And now police have more to worry about.
Contact!
They must also protect unarmed paramedics moving in right behind them.
We'll provide safety for them while they're taking care of business inside and rendering aid.
For the day's final drill, Tinsley and her fellow first responders will deal with a worst-case scenario: shots fired at a high school, hostages strapped to explosives. The teams race toward the sound of gunshots, downstairs and hallways, not knowing how many gunmen there are. Just as things are heating up at the high school, another call, sending deputies to a different school up the street.
Getting reports of a possible active shooter at middle school.
204, 203, we copy.
Two deputies head in alone, no time to wait for backup. Inside, helpless victims, one student chained to a bomb. But these cops know their first priority is to eliminate the threat. A shooter in a first-floor bathroom.
Come on with your hands up! Come on, come out with your hands up! I got it.
But just as the officer tries to take that final shot, her gun jams. Their backup arrives just in time.
And they said they were pinned down with the bathroom taking shots. Is he by himself? Does he have a hostage in there? Do we move? Do we hold?
Is he there by himself, do you know? I think so, I don't know.
Suspect down. One suspect down.
But upstairs, a surprise second shooter.
Drop the weapon!
Officers quickly take him down.
He is out of play. He is out of play.
When it's all over, they talk about what went right and what went wrong.
Who identified themselves as the tactical supervisor? If no tactical supervisors there, how chaotic would it be? I mean, how chaotic is it with the tactical supervisor? Now imagine without. So there needs to be, try to get that command and control.
As jarring as the day was, Sergeant Engel hopes the day has given his troops a taste for the real thing.
We had some IEDs, we had multiple threats, we had multiple engagements, we had compromised entry points. I mean, those things are coming this way. That's what truly does scare me.
You think it's coming this way? I mean,
it's here.
He knows the harsh reality for Kristen Tinsley and her fellow cops. It's not a matter of if she'll use what she learned today, but when.
I'm going to feel a heck of a lot more prepared than I did coming into today. That's for sure. I mean, you're still going to have all the different emotions of the unknown and everything, but at least I have some sort of base to build on now.
Everybody's got to be ready, no matter. First day on the job to the guy that's going to retire next week, we want them all to be ready. Okay. Cool. Because, you know, a warrior's a warrior and it never quits.
For Nightline, I'm Clayton Sandell in Highlands Ranch, Colorado.